One of the things that really excited me about starting Gotham was the idea of helping organizations improve performance by looking at their culture and leadership issues. By being internal for a while, I noticed that a lot of effort was being put toward understanding strategy, understanding the financial landscape, but culture wasn't something that was really being considered. And so being able to go out and talk to people about why culture matters and how it links to performance was something that really excited us. And to have an opportunity to do that across different organizations was really appealing.
Everything that an executive does, from competitive landscape analysis to putting together the most refined strategic plan, can be made or broken by culture. So to not actively manage culture is essentially sabotaging all of those other areas where they may be focusing their time.
Culture absolutely impacts everything. Everything that you do, both your bottom line business, how happy your employees are, how your customers view your brand, everything all boils down to the beliefs and assumptions that drive your company's culture. So I would tell any executive that felt like it wasn't important to take on and that they don't have time for it, to look at their businesses and see where there could be improvement. And I think the funny thing about culture is that oftentimes you can make links between culture and certain aspects of performance that you never would necessarily think. Safety and culture, bottom line and culture, productivity and culture, engagement and culture. I mean, pretty much everything can somehow have a cultural root and should always be very important to any leader in any organization.
A lot of executives, owners of companies, people who are responsible for setting the tone, look at culture as an afterthought, is something that is, well, I'll get to it if I have time. One of sort of the fathers of organizational culture is Edgar Schein, and Edgar Schein says if a leader resists managing the culture will manage them. And so it's that lack of attention that gets to, it's the old axiom, if you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. It's about being purposeful. It's about being clear about what you want, as opposed to if you resist thinking about it, it'll just turn out the way it turns out.
When clients come to me and say, we want to change our culture, the first question that comes to my mind is why? What is your strategy? What are you trying to achieve? And why do you think that culture is going to help you get there? Once an organization has clarity of purpose, a clear vision, clear strategy on where they need to go, and they have a very, very deep understanding of the context in which they operate, at that point, it's really helpful to take a step back and understand culture and how the DNA of the organization in terms of what we value, our norms of behavior, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable in day-to-day functioning together may either help us achieve that strategy or hinder our ability. A great example of that might be an organization that says, hey, we really want to stress teamwork in our organization. And then when you look at the compensation model that they use for their sales force, for example, maybe very heavily skewed towards individual performance. So that's an example of where the system, the compensation system, is misaligned with the direction the organization's trying to go. Salespeople are not going to work collaboratively if their reward and recognition processes are designed for individual performance. And that's just one example of how culture can play out in an organization in terms of driving specific behaviors.